Your typography can literally be the reason your brand feels one way as opposed to another. Whether your fonts are thin or bold, fluid or straight, concealing or stylish, all contribute to the way your customers feel about your brand. This is the ultimate guide to typography for brand consistency. And first, we're going to go to the different types of fonts that you will probably see out there. But every single industry has a particular font style that is common in that industry. So we will go over those as well. And this will kind of give you an idea of whether they are in alignment with your business or not. So first, we have the sans font, the sans serif font. Now, this is the most basic, the most known, the most used font in the entire world, the sans serif font. Their characteristics are very, very simple. But before that, I want to give you an example. So, an example of a company that would use a sans serif font or has or is using this font is Netflix. So, Netflix's logo is, of course, a media company, which is a technology company, and it is a streaming platform. So they actually created their own proprietary sans serif font in which they use called Netflix Sans. And you don't have to go out and invest in creating your whole entire personal font for your business, but this is one way that Netflix has done it. So we can see that sans serif font has subtle curves. It is very legible, and it does not have much going on visually because we usually use these fonts in situations where we want it to be simple, legible, usually never have too much going on visually, as opposed to this decorative font that we will go over later. So Netflix's target audience is global and spans many ages, locations, and languages, but they share some common characteristics when watching TV. They're relaxed, they're not serious, and they're looking for entertainment. This is great. This is a perfect situation for the usage of a legible, easy to read font, which is most likely going to be a sans serif font. So, sans fonts are great for brands that are modern, clean, approachable, like Netflix, and best for tech companies, startups, modern brands like Google, Facebook, and Nike. So some sans fonts that I would recommend personally, this one that you see on the screen right now is Montserrat, which is a very common font. I would also recommend Futura, which is a bit sharper, and Helvetica, which is a pretty standard font but gives a more digital look. And as a bonus, I will give you guys Archivo. Archivo is a font that a lot of people don't know about, but it has a wide range of weights, and you can use it condensed, normal, wide, whatever. So next we will get into serif fonts, which you'll see in older brands or more traditional and professional brands. Some serif fonts can get pretty crazy while others are on the simple side, so you have a wide range of variability. And a great example of a company that uses serif fonts is Vogue. So as we all know, Vogue is a newspaper company or a magazine company or an editorial company, a media company in a sense. And so really what a sans serif, not a sans serif, but a serif font is known for is its traditional look. It has these distinct feet or ledges on it, and we'll get into specific names for those in a second. But it leads to these fonts being very legible, these fonts having a lot of contrast within them, and they have very sharp characteristics, or some of them can be rounded as well. But serif fonts are usually used in companies that, like I said, are traditional and like older styles. So there's many different styles of serif fonts, but we're not going to get into those. So we have different things, specifically this these little feet that I was talking about earlier are called serifs, and so that is why they are called serif fonts. If you did want some examples of serif fonts, we have the very, very common Times New Roman. We have Garamond and we have Didot. So these are very, very common basic ones, but of course, go on to Behance or DaFont or whatever font site you go on to find fonts and find what you like. So now we have script fonts. The most distinct characteristic of script fonts are the connections and fluidity of letters. Also, they are elegant, personalized, and creative. So as we can see in our lower left-hand corner, we have a script font, and we can see that compared to every single font on here, it has much more flowery aspects or curves or circular shapes, really a lot of fluidity. And another name is cursive fonts, but not every one of the script fonts that you see are going to be cursive. It's best used for luxury brands and creative industries like Cadillac or Instagram. And I think that you should use this font whenever you have something that needs to be heartfelt, something that you want to evoke a feeling of happiness or compassionate, things like that. I feel like this font family or font style is really going to exude. And so if you did want to use script fonts inside of your business or for your logo, here are three recommendations that I have for you. Number one, we have Dancing Script, we have Audio Script, and we have Milkshake. These are script fonts that you can use in your social media graphics, your formal type of designs, and let me know how it goes. We have decorative fonts, and decorative fonts are really going to be those fonts you see that have very, very unique characteristics to them. For example, inside of this one, we have little dashes inside of it, giving it a look like it was handwritten. And so this would be a handwritten decorative font, and I would use this in, maybe designs for specific holidays, maybe the Chinese New Year. I use a decorative font, or maybe a design for a pirate ship, a pirate movie, things like that would most likely take decorative fonts. But they're really there to be very unique, exude their own characteristics, and each one of the decorative fonts that you see are going to be different from the others. So if you would like to have some variability in there, that is a great choice. And last but not least, we have monospace fonts. So monospace fonts are really thin, evenly spaced, evenly sized. They actually come from typewriters. So whenever you look at a typewriter, if you click one letter, it's most likely the same size as every other letter, just so on the paper they can keep a structured format. And so we now have digital monospace fonts. They are best used for coding platforms, technology brands, or minimal designs. And these fonts come from typewriters, like I said. So they have the same amount of space in between and the size of the letters. The monospace look is actually more of a functionality aspect of the font. And whenever you are using an interface and you want to create a UI, a user interface that is very, very balanced, and you're a technology company, you may want to use the monospace font. But you can also use a monospace font for top secret companies. If you wanted to kind of be like a special agency type of brand, then you could use a monospace font. Or if you have like a hacker brand, you could use a monospace font, and that could market your business pretty well. GitHub uses monospace fonts, so keep that in mind. And there are more fonts to choose from, but these are the ones that you will most likely use. Different fonts in every facet, so just explore as much as you can. But if you would like a full typography guide, I will link it in the description below for you to access, and it will explain in depth every font type while giving you different combinations that you can use for your brand. So how do you pick one now? Well, if you're taking notes, you will see that each font type kind of has an industry type that it will usually go with. If you're creating a sportswear brand, you will use a simple or bold sans font to show strength, or slab font While if you are creating a hair company, you will most likely use a serif font combined with the script font to show elegance and the wavy flow of hair. Just think about it. What absolutely looks right for your brand, but also creates different variations for you to brainstorm off of. So I hope this video helped. Let me know what font you plan on using for your brand. And remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video to a business owner that you do know. And I will see you in the next video. Peace.